Fox took a chance on a musical comedy about a misfit show choir and scored big ratings, big hits, and made big stars out of its unknown cast.
Without a doubt, Glee has become a cultural phenomenon, but exactly what it is a little hard to define. Is it a comedy? Is it a drama? Is it a musical? It changes week to week, but also changes scene to scene.
Despite its emphasis on music and comedy, Glee is grounded in real issues that teens face today.
Brian Murphy came up to me and said, "Just so you know, you're about to be pregnant." And I thought, this is fantastic. Wonderful.
Originally written as an antagonistic Queen Bee, once Diana Agron was cast, she brought an unexpected depth to the character of Quinn.
Whatever I did, I'm sorry.
I'm pregnant. I'm really good at finding the motivation behind people's behavior or actions, and so even though Quinn was very tough and kind of determined and all of these egotistical ways, there's a reason for all that. Any person that's like that in real life, there's a reason for that.
Diana really brought so much to the part. And when we started writing for her and when we started seeing what she was capable of doing, we became much more interested in doing even more with that character.
Quinn told boyfriend Finn the baby was his, but the audience knew that it was really Finn's best friend Puck who was the father.
It's okay.
The pregnancy also put the stops on the budding relationship between Finn and Rachel, continuing one of television's most angst-ridden love triangles.
You really are awesome. I'm gonna make it up to you someday, I swear.
Much more unconventional was Glee's depiction of a leading character's sexuality. In the episode entitled Preggers, Kurt opens up to his father.
I'm gay.
I read it and I thought, you know, at first I was like, oh, this guy's going to be, you know, the stereotypical intolerant guy.
If that's who you are, there's nothing I can do about it. And I love you just as much. Okay?
And sure enough, towards the end of the show, they had the great scene between him and his son, and I was like, wow, he really, you know, he's really throws the audience for a curveball and threw me for a curveball when I read it.
I'm not gay, but I know what it's like to reach out and want to connect with my dad. And so I just tried to make it as real as possible. Like, what would that feel like to tell a secret you were ashamed of to your dad, and how hard would that be?
To see a really sort of hyper-masculine father who you didn't think was going to be accepting of his child being gay, I mean, I think that might be even more important than the kids seeing, you know, a gay role model. It's also parents seeing a role model for parenting there.
Having his story be so mainstream helps. If it doesn't help overall, then I think it helps individuals at least.
Though Kurt was a hit with viewers, some of his fictional McKinley High classmates weren't as sympathetic. The second season of Glee contained storylines that echoed some disturbing current events.
It happened to coincide with a time in our country where bullying really was becoming an issue.
I had to stop reading fan mail because it was so heavy. You know, stories and of kids being bullied in high school and saying that, you know, seeing someone on the television going through something very similar with them, you know, help them.
Kurt's heartbreaking journey would take the character to a new school, filled with new drama and a new romance.
I kind of snuck in this, like, the back door into being accepted because people like Kurt, so I always joke that if Blaine didn't date Kurt or wasn't involved romantically, I don't think people would like Blaine as much.
Darren Criss had tried out for Glee before.
I went out for Finn, which at the time was a very different character, and, you know, I'm a small guy, I'm not a football player, I would never cast me as Finn.
But casting director Robert Ulrich had remembered him when it came time to find a love interest for Kurt.
I cut my hair, I usually have very long shaggy hair. I've cut my hair to try to get this part. I wouldn't have told anybody that I cut my hair for an audition if I didn't get it, but I did, so I can tell the story now.
He auditioned on a Friday and started work on Monday.
It's pretty cool for a lot of kids out there that the big love story on TV now is between two kids named Kurt and Blaine. I would have liked to have seen that when I was a kid.
People love Kurt and Blaine, they do, and what's not to love?
Glee's mix of drama, comedy, and music resonated with viewers and critics alike. In its first season, it was nominated for both the Golden Globe and an Emmy for Best Comedy.
we first won the Golden Globe after 13 episodes was kind of shocking to me. We're like, we're not even a full season yet, and there are so many people out there who believe in our show.
That was really big. That was our first big, kind of wow.
Jane Lynch and Chris Colfer both won Golden Globes for their work on the series. In 2010, the entire cast received the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by an Ensemble in a Comedy. And it wasn't just the award circuit recognizing the cast of Glee. Oprah and the White House came calling.
We were on Oprah and we performed, and then in the same 24-hour span, we got on the plane and went to meet Obama and do this Easter egg roll and perform there for the First Lady and her daughters, and we got to meet him, and it's kind of incredible.
That is something I never thought I'd check off of the bucket list. It wouldn't even be on my bucket list because I wouldn't have thought that to be really possible.
Another thing the cast didn't anticipate was an international tour.
We broke a record at O2 Arena in London. We did 7 sold-out shows, so it was remarkable. I mean, this show really affects people, and you get that feeling. You get the feeling that it really affects people's lives.
The tour was even turned into a 3D movie.
As a musician, I always imagined a successful thing for me would be, getting in a smelly van with your bandmates and just touring. I never thought I'd, a year later, be selling out stadiums internationally.
While no one could have predicted the heights Glee would reach, it's easy to see why it resonates with fans.
No matter what character you feel more akin to, there's an overall theme of camaraderie and love and dedication and exploring what you really want to do, your passions in life.
People were kind of ready for this type of a show, for a musical. I think Glee's telling people, express yourself, get out there, don't be ashamed. Come on, step out and be great. And don't worry about falling on your face.
Could be any age, from any place, any race, and you can relate to something on Glee. And if you can't, then you could just sit back and listen to these songs that will definitely seep their way into you one way or another.
I'm still wondering when I'm going to wake up. I'm going to wake up and kind of go, yeah, see, I told you, musicals won't work in the U.S.
Even now, 3 years later, I'm still in the pinch me moment. Like, I can't believe half the stuff that's happening is really happening.
Like the fact that I'm interviewing for Biography. For Biography! My God! Grew up watching Biography. And look at this mug, this schmo, answering questions about some show that I got cast on. Like, that is surreal. This is surreal. All of this fake library of Paramount Studios in Los Angeles, and all